I was thinking about this line, Zainab, that I said to you where I was like, you don't want this banging bod blown to bits, do you? And I had so much fun with that line, like so many bees. It was just, it's just the best. I had the best time.
To start off, first of all, congratulations on an incredible season of Upload. Oh my goodness, it was so much fun. I would love to know what kind of stuck out to each of you about season three and maybe added to this world and the ongoing story.
What I love about the opportunity to continue in the world of Upload, and I think season three does that, is that we just get to sort of give an imagining of some of the things that we are experiencing right now, right? So like, let's say Thanksgiving holiday or Native,
I think it's Indigenous Peoples Day, right?
Indigenous Peoples Day. Thank you so much, Jeanine. I'm trying to, but like that's approaching, right? And I just think about, we have a day like that in season three. We talk about how it's mostly about consumerism, right? But then there's this scene where Alicia is trying to cook for her family, but she's not really cooking. Like everything is everything is like technologically advanced. And I love moments like that where we just give a little bit of an imagine, like, what if? Like if this were available today or even 5 years from now, would you partake in it? Would you, bring it into your house? So I love that Upload proposes that.
Oh, I'm 100% with you. It was seeing stuff on the page to seeing it on the screen is always so delightful. The scene that surprised me was Ingrid, Allegra, in that yoga class or the prancing pony class, I guess. And she's got her VR on and she's so excited about being IRL. And it made it kind of a chill ran down my spine where I'm like, we have to be in conversation with this because we have to understand where do we want to go and what of it do we want to be helpful and what of it do we need to protect?
Well, I mean, Jeanine, I was so excited to see you join the cast, after being a fan of Roswell. So I was super, super excited to see your character introduced. Were you, a fan of Upload prior? Did you get into it kind of once you got the call for the role?
Oh, God, I was a fan of Upload. I watched, not only am I, but, my whole family is. So they were jazzed about this job, as was I. And I was so excited to work with Greg. It just like, we had such... The writing is just so good. It's just, delicious. Like there were lines. I had so much fun. I was thinking about this line, Zainab, that I said to you where I was like, you don't want this banging bod blown to bits, do you? And I had so much fun with that line. Like so many bees. It was just, it's just the best. I had the best time.
But it's like testament to you, Jeanine, because that really is a line. That's kind of like a line like, I'll be back. You know what I'm saying? That's a line that can seem very like, okay, this is comic booky, right? But the way that, you and all of us really are able to like ground kind of like some of these really absurd things is, I don't know. I think it's like fun, but also really wonderful.
100% with you. It was so fun. It's really cool to see how you guys handle this material. The writing is incredible, but the performances just ground it in such a delightful show. It's the reason I think people are just so attached to it. It's the performances you guys bring. It was fun to, try to contribute and make my little like wheel in the machine super shiny.
Well, I also got to ask about the romance between your characters. They have an immediate connection right off the bat, right when they first meet. So what is it that you think kind of, drew them together?
I think beyond the, beyond, I was supposed to say me and Jeanine, but beyond Alicia and Karina just being like beautiful women, I think that in this world, maybe Karina saw that Alicia was like new, but also not the same type as everybody else, and I think and so that can be attractive, like, oh, okay, she's the odd man out, she's the odd woman out. And I think for Alicia, it was like Karina's kind of aspirational, or so she thought, you know? Like she's has this confidence. She's in this like, petite package, but she knows what she wants. She comes to her directly, And I think especially with their first meeting, Alicia needed some distraction from Lucy. She needed to be somewhere other than wherever Lucy was. And Karina provided that and provided it in a very, in a very like spicy way. And I think the attraction kind of just builds from there.
Well, kind of talking about Karina, she is such an interesting character. I mean, I loved kind of learning more about her throughout the season. She's got her good moments, but then she's also willing to kind of do some pretty immoral things. So, Jeanine, what was getting into her head like? Who do you feel she really is at her heart?
100%. Thank you. I'm hoping I did my job. It sounds like maybe I got close at least. And I think the big thing for me was like, anytime you talk to an actor about a villain, you have to justify why they are the way they are. And for me, it was this woman of color, which I think is part of the reason why, these characters are attracted to each other. They're coming up in a world that's not built for them, not built to service them and their ambitions and their success. And so she that was the beginnings of her getting to a place where she was a big baddie, was like, well, I'm going to have to be tough and I'm going to have to be, cutthroat in order to make it in this world. So sort of using that as like the entry point of like, she's had to be armored up to make it in this world. And then it just clearly evolved into something beyond her actually being able to contain it. So it was really fun to allow the seeds of it to be something which we can maybe forgive, and then it just gets so bad, which is just delicious to play with.
I think Karina's character really helps in a really subtle way show Alicia's like evolving, because I think in the first season, Alicia really tried to detach herself from the world of Lakeview and tried to, think of these uploads as just uploads. And I think that she has such a strong attraction and really loving Karina's world. Karina's world comes with perks that Alicia is not used to. She loves that world. But then when it poses a threat to the upload world, it like shows like, oh, wait, now Alicia has an alliance to these. She cares about, and I just think that that's like a very subtle growth that is evident, but it's not like we don't have to say it.
100%. Yeah. That was the most exciting thing for me to like step in and hear and be like, this is Alicia's story. And what is it that Karina is poking for her, or like, suddenly it's something that you're curious about, that we all are, that we all would be like, well, that kind of seems fun and shiny and exciting, but she's testing her morality and her moral center in the end. And it makes you, I'm a fan of the show, so I root for Alicia. And it was fun to see you weighing it out, Zainab, and like you I loved how long we pulled that like cat and mouse thing, because it really allowed you to see Alicia doing her back and forth.
Well, it looks like that is about my time today. So thank you guys so much for chatting with me. You were both so lovely to speak with. And of course, all the fingers crossed for season 4. We'll make it happen. Right? Cool. Thank you guys so much. You have a good one.
You too.